Hi, I'm Amory, and I'm here with the Amory's Book Club selection for the month of September, which is James by Percival Everett. James is such a joy to read. It is fantastic. Huckleberry Finn is another story in the, Tom Sawyer world, and we meet James, who is known as Jim in the Mark Twain Huckleberry Finn story. But I love that we know him as James in the story. Percival Everett's James is the Huckleberry Finn story told through James's or Jim's eyes. It's completely his POV. But that's just the beginning. As soon as I started reading the book, I felt like I was reading something really, really special. Not only are we in James's perspective, Percival Everett does something so interesting. I was debating whether I should tell you this or not, and I think I should, because you'll see it early on. The Jim that we're introduced to in Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn is similar but very different from the James in this book, because this is curtains dropped, mask off. And by that I mean to say James is very intelligent and also has perfect grammar, speaks very well, as do the other enslaved people around him. So the whole quote-unquote slave talk, like, I sure is doing that, well I sure did reckon that is a complete put on. When they're alone, you see that the way they're speaking, you see the education they're giving themselves, their children, and you're like, whoa. So that's just coming in as a reader, that was a huge surprise, a very welcome surprise for me, and it really gave so much depth to who James is, because without that very, the caricature, the stereotypical veneer, you're able to really see the man. So we're meeting James, we're meeting other people who are enslaved, and we're seeing that they use this as a protection because of the way that they have to survive, the things that they have to do. Make sure you don't appear to have the answer. Make sure you don't contradict, the people or those who are holding you captive. How do you protect your children? They practice, they teach them how to speak this way so that they can keep themselves safe. There are other surprises in the book. I will not tell you those, but this is just the first one, and it completely shifts the way that you see this story. Percival Everett has written some gems. This is yet another one, and I think this is something super special. They will probably, I'm curious to know if they would probably study this in school alongside Huckleberry Finn, because it truly does offer another layer, another perspective to not only the characters in the story, but also a time, this period in history. It had me really just sitting and thinking for a while, because I had to wonder, because of course this story, though it's fiction, of course there were people who could read, were extremely articulate, but had to hide it and hid it well. And if they're just speaking amongst one another, wouldn't they just be natural? Of course. So such a wonderful story, but I'm also so happy for this wonderful addition to the classic works that we read, giving us this other perspective. It's so important to have. This book needed to exist, and I'm so happy that it does. Please join us for the Amory's Book Club selection read for this month. Make sure that you join us at the end of the month. Percival Everett and I will be chatting via Zoom, so make sure you check in for that. # Read with Amory, # Amory's Book Club. Pick this up today. Please pick up this treasure. In the meantime, happy reading.